morning. My name is Mike Hare with the Buccini Pollin Group, and it's my great privilege to welcome you here to the Harris B. McDowell Student Success Center on the campus, the George campus of Delaware Technical Community College. I want to first off start by thanking Dr. Mark Brainerd, President of Del Tech, and Dr. Laura Johnson, who is Vice President Campus Director here at George, for offering this fabulous space. It's kind of long in anticipation of this event. I think when we broke ground, it was about 180 degrees. So maybe it's only fitting that it's 8 degrees on the day that we cut the ribbon. But I guess in full disclosure, I have the great privilege of serving on the board here at Del Tech. I was appointed by a former governor who remained nameless, and it's just exciting to see the great progress here and how that melds with the progress across the street, which we celebrate today. So between the two projects, more than $65 million have been spent in this portion of the Lower Central Business District in the city of Wilmington, and it's extraordinary. And it's due to great leadership at the college, for sure, the great support of the previous administration and the legislature, and the confidence that we have and our lenders have in this part of Wilmington. So we're grateful, and we're certainly grateful to be inside. We will sneak outside for a quick snip of the ribbon later on in the program after we've spoken today. But today we cut the ribbon on the latest project in the Buccini Pollin residential portfolio, a 61-unit building. And I know that we have very short memories in development projects. We forget what was here before, but this was really kind of a moribund stretch of 4th Street from Market headed west, and across the street, kind of an homage to what was named Humble Park. And if there was a park, there was no more Humble Park in the city of Wilmington than Humble Park. And a lot of misbehavior took place there. It certainly was not a place that drew students during the school day, and a lot of misbehavior. And when we began the demolition of the properties at the corner, it was then Parks Director Kevin Kelly, former Commissioner of License Inspection and then Land Use Jeff Stark. He said, would you ever have any interest in making this part of a development project? And we certainly have made more sense to get more density. I think there was a belief that this was a good thing for the city. And it was Councilwoman Michelle Harley who took the leadership on basically saying that if there is a revenue generated for the site, that it be reinvested in another public space in her councilmatic district, and supported this. And it was quite a process to have a public space no longer deemed public. One, a resolution of council, amendment through the Planning Commission, as well as taking this to Superior Court to see that there was public support and no opposition. And we're grateful that's happened. And the result is an extraordinary project. We mentioned the 61 units, rooftop deck, and really breathing new life into this portion of the city. So we're grateful that you're here. So many of our partners who come to celebrate these occasions with us, and create an environment in the city that's ripe for growth and makes it attractive to residents to move in to our properties. We're pleased that this is the additional 61 units on a portfolio within the city of Wilmington of 2,200 apartments. And that's in addition to another 600 that are currently under construction, not development, under construction, with about another 400 planned. So we're pleased to provide the opportunity for more people to move into the city, and we're certainly grateful to then Governor Carney, now our mayor, former Governor Perzicki, the City Council, the State Legislature for the investments they've made in Wilmington to provide that confidence. So we're pleased that you're here. And with that said, it's my great privilege. Again, we're all trying to get the nomenclature right, given the changes, because John Carney has been with us for a long time, certainly as our Lieutenant Governor, as our lone member of Congress, and as our governor. And now as he takes on his new challenge, it's my great privilege to welcome my friend and our mayor, John Carney.
Thank you very much. I'm like, wow, there's a big crowd here. It's great to be here with all of you every day. When I wake up, I try to figure out, who am I? Am I the governor? Am I the mayor? I'm the member of Congress. What I am is a real proud resident of this great city. And Mark, first of all, I want to recognize you and your team here at Del Tech for the incredible things that you've been doing here in our city and the investments that we've made together. I made a commitment with you, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago that we would come through with the kinds of resources that you needed to bring all your facilities up to date and make investments for the workforce here in Delaware. As I walked in the front door and walked by what it looked to me like what I remember as a library. They don't really have libraries like they did in my day, but a learning center, I think it's called, and just an incredible asset for our city and for our state. And my role, you know, I've been mayor now for 2 weeks, I guess, still trying to figure out where all the bathrooms are and who works for whom and all of that. And I expect that a lot of what I'll have to do is to congratulate and thank the former mayor, Mayor Perzicki, Mayor Mike, proudly known as Mayor Mike, who, by the way, is getting his, I don't know whether this is a HIPAA violation or not, but he's getting his knee replaced today, so keep him in your thoughts and prayers. But what a great thing to have this investment. I was trying to figure out what the Humble Park name was all about. I seem to remember that next to the park there years ago, before we had legalized gambling, there was something going on in a building right next door, and maybe the old timers remember that as well. And so that, of course, has been changed. And when the first announcement came that BPG was going to build this facility, this apartment building, the mayor, Mayor Mike, said at the time that if you're not growing as a city, you're dying. And we see across our city, in every neighborhood, that we're growing, we're improving, we're getting better. And I think my job as mayor, working with members of council, I don't see anyone here, is to build on the momentum that Mayor Mike created with all of you, to help those who are willing to risk their own dollars to make investments like BPG has. And where are the lenders? If the lenders could stand up and be recognized, because they're really the ones that make this happen, please. Thank you for this project. We're going to grow and we're going to get better in every neighborhood in our city. As I campaigned for this office for several months during the summer and early fall, I was just so overwhelmed. I've lived here for almost 40 years. And I was just blown away by the quality of our neighborhoods in every part of our city and the challenges that we have as well. But when we have partners like this development group with Del Tech here at the anchoring on this end of the downtown district, there's nothing but good for our future. And I look forward to helping all of you help us to be successful. I think that one of the reasons that I was invited to be here to cut the ribbon is that I used to be lieutenant governor at one time, and so I know how to cut a ribbon, and I look forward to doing that. So to Rob and your team, and to our lenders, and to Mark and your team here at Del Tech, thank you for what you do for our city. I look forward to cutting this ribbon.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a footnote about Del Tech, and we acknowledge their hospitality today in letting us in this space, but I think I'd like to also mention their significant contribution to this project. Every development no one feels sorry for developers, but every project has its nuances and its complications. And among them here was to move utility poles with a maybe less than enthusiastic partner in Delmarva Power, and trying to, you know the company, right? And so a lot of what we need to do was move utility poles out of the way, out of the building line, so that we could safely construct the building, as well as the aesthetic implications, getting poles out of the view of this window, et cetera. A lot of that work still needs to be done, but Del Tech was a generous partner financially in kind of mutually managing those aesthetic as well as practical needs. So we're very grateful to the college for their support. And obviously, we're trying to improve the neighborhood for all of us. So, and to that point, do we have any Del Tech students here in the back? There are some back here. We'd just like to acknowledge them for being here and the great work that Del Tech does every day. I also, we're at the Buccini Pollin Group. We have great work to do, and I think that there are jobs, and then there are jobs. And this is a job, certainly for a lifelong resident of the city like me, that one you can get enthused about, because the great thing about development and construction is you see a two-dimensional drawing, and then you see something out of the ground, and then 6 months or a year later, you see that building full of new residents of the city that you love. So the drivers of that are Rob and Chris Buccini, who have a vision for the city in which they grew up. And that vision becomes more tangible every day. So to speak to his vision and acknowledge the partners in this project, please welcome Rob Buccini.
Mike, thank you for mentioning former Commissioner Jeff Starkey. It was his idea really to expand the project to make it a little beefier and to figure out what to do with the kind of abandoned park. And so just wanted everyone to recognize Jeff Starkey and thank him. On the way in this morning and over the weekend, with these incredibly cold temperatures, the staff in our residential department has done an amazing job. We provide first-class living accommodations regardless of if you're taking low-income housing tax credits, vouchers, to a person at the penthouse at the Hotel DuPont. And it is amazing how great a job that you all do, how few comments that we get that are, listen, we need to pick it up a little bit. You work literally 24 hours a day, and on the way in I spoke with Mike Mazzagatti about just wanting to extend a round of applause for our maintenance team, if they would all stand up in the downtown properties. And I just want to thank you all. You guys got to all, yeah. These are the people that really run the properties, and I can't thank you enough. I mean, literally this time of year, it is a 24-hour-a-day job, and just with everything salt to making sure everyone's, living in the proper temperatures. I thank you incredibly much. I'd also want to thank the WPD and the fire marshal and the fire department. You all make it incredibly safe. To me, the most important thing that we do when we provide housing for new residents is to make it safe. There's not a 24-hour concierge in this building, and so what gives me the peace of mind at night is knowing how engaged, how visible the WPD is and the downtown visions is. And I can't thank you enough. I see these younger women walking their dogs at 9:30 at night, and sometimes Mayor Carney and I, we lament that didn't seem possible maybe even a decade ago, that it would be, you'd feel comfortable enough just to walk your dog late at night. And so I always thank the Wilmington Police Department, but I just want to extend that and thank our security team and thank Downtown Visions. Thank you all very much. Mike Hare thanked the Public Works Department and L&I. He did an unbelievable job in expediting this process to get this building built. The Downtown Development District played a huge part, I think, on the outside of the building and the inside of the building. What we were able to do with those dollars is really increase the aesthetic of the property. And what that does is it helps us when we compete against, Westchester or Glen Mills, Pennsylvania, or, Philadelphia. We're able to build a prettier project that is far less expensive than our neighbors. And so that, thankfully, is the generosity of the DDD. Our team at Digsall did an amazing job. Mark, thank you so much for building a beautiful job. I think we're a demanding client, but we're very appreciative of the outcome of how this, and our construction group led by Rick DeCesare. Thank you all so much. I see Wes and John Graw. Thank you for building just a beautiful project that the feedback from the residents that have moved in is nothing short of incredibly positive. So the thing that I'm most proud about is when we started building down here on this section of Mark Street about a decade ago, all the buildings were vacant. We have, our first building that we did down here was financed with affordable light tech credits from the city. That's on Second, just off of Market Street, and that was also historic renovation. We then did the Cooper, which was collapsing. The roof was had trees growing out of it, so we were able to save that building. Then we went up to another historic renovation, which is now called Lincoln Square. So each one of these blocks was vacant and underutilized, and then we finally had this project here, which is ground up, which is far easier than the other ones that we've done, and so I just couldn't be more proud of the architecture that we have done here, and I just think it's a beautiful part of the city. This building is particularly important as it's on a corner. Speaking of grateful, we're so happy that John Carney ran for mayor. It to me is the most important job in the state by far, the one that I'm probably the most envious of, just because I think it really impacts so many people's lives. And when you said that you were going to run for mayor, there was a huge sense of relief, and almost as big as when you won. so we're thrilled to work with you, hopefully for the next 8 years. I think I have thanked everyone. Obviously, Del Tech has been a great partner, and I haven't been in here, Mark, since the renovation's done. This is spectacular, and I think the students, hopefully, they appreciate how well they've done. And then, in final, thank you for our accounting team. Thank you for our sales and marketing team. Christine, your group, we're looking forward to doing a great job here as we lease this building up, and I think that's it. So. Again, thank you all very much.
I know that Rob acknowledged many of the departments in the city. I do want to acknowledge the DRPC, the Design Review and Preservation Committee. And there is no, the process often is like oral surgery going through DRPC. And because you think you have a great idea and a great concept. And kudos to Sarah Lamb and our shop, as well as the team from Digsall and the DRPC, because I think we had maybe 3 different DRPC meetings, as well as a separate meeting with certain commissioners to kind of refine the design of this building. And I think the result is a benefit to all. Not only to the residents, but certainly to the community. And I think the aesthetic that was achieved here includes the profiles, the kind of the undulation of the building, as well as the color. And so we're grateful. Pat Maley, who works in city land use, who manages the Design Review Commission, I think they've done a terrific job. And again, as Rob acknowledged, Digsall. So I think the result is a better project for all of us. I do want to also make one other acknowledgement before I send you out into the cold. First of all, I just wanted to say that is Dave Sanchez here? Is Dave? I'm sorry? Okay. So we're going to see Dave across the street. Dave, we maligned Humboldt Park enough, but Dave was one of those folks from Space Boy, one of our longtime tenants, partners in Wilmington, and he actually took some care in helping clean up the park as well as programming the park over time. And as acknowledgement for his commitment to the area, he's created a mural inside the building. So I ask that we give special attention when we get across the street. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
More tight.
There you go.
One more.
He said it's slightly smaller, but maybe because it's only one room. Try it. One spoon at a time.
Wow.
It'll be summertime.
Colors are great.